Welcome, everyone, to A Mexican and a Redneck, Father of the World. We are your hosts and surrogate fathers, Juan and Ben. Today we'll be discussing learning to make your bed.
Did he make your bed this morning before you came here?
I don't remember.
Do you make your bed?
I try to.
So you don't know?
I don't remember.
Huh.
Sometimes it's made, sometimes it's not.
When you were a single guy, would you make your bed?
I just had the comforter and the pillow. No bed sheets, so no.
You didn't make your bed as a single guy?
No. Never cared. Wasn't a.
Why not?
Just didn't.
Have you ever thought about making your bed?
Sometimes I do.
The importance of it?
I know there's a whole psychological thing to it, but
Because people right now are listening to like making your bed. What does that have to do with being a dad? Everything?
learning to make your bed. See,
Learning.
I'm learning, and you're here to teach me why I should make my bed.
So let's kind of tell you the backstory as to why we're doing this podcast. So I was working with my 3-year-old the other day and my 5-year-old, and they share a bedroom. I have 2 boys, 2 girls, so they each share they each share a room. My girls, they share their bedroom, and I was telling them, hey, make your bed, clean up your room. Well, my 5-year-old knows how to make her bed, and she does a really good job. Like, I mean, she folds it, 11 inches, nice folded corners. It's really good. Sometimes I've asked her to make my bed. 'Cause she does such a good job. My 3-year-old, on the other hand, has no clue what she's doing. So, and it really hit me as far as like, as I was telling her, and I was getting angry at them, and I was getting mad, and I was like, as I go in there, and Elizabeth's bed is made, it's nice and perfect, and looks good, and Abigail's bed is just like chaos. I'm like, oh my gosh, no. I'm like, you got to make your bed. And then I'm standing there, like, make your bed. And she's just looking at me, and she's like pulling on the sheets and trying to figure out. And it hit me. I was like, wait, I haven't actually taken the time to teach you how to make your bed. You have I'm telling you the what, but I've never given you the why. And it was this big realization of like, okay, just because you tell somebody what they're supposed to do, have you explained them why they need to do that? And it kind of hit me because I've done that with Elizabeth as far as explaining that, and she understands it, and she has a good concept of it, and she's actually really good at making her bed. And as a father, you have many first-time experience. Like the first time you become a dad, you're like, oh, it's this new experience. It's great. It's amazing. You're like, oh, I'm gonna raise this child and teach him and stuff like that. But now that I have multiple kids, it's like, oh, wait, I have to do this with every single one of them. Not just the first one. Because in my family, I'm the oldest. And I remember there's this sense of responsibility that's put over me to where, like, I had to be my brother's and sister teacher. Like, I would have to teach them and raise them. And I was like, wait, I didn't sign up for this. Turn that off. Can you turn that off? And I was like, I didn't sign up for this deal. This is not part of the agreement. And I could have done that to where I just tell Elizabeth, hey, can you make Abigail's bed? But then I would be teaching my daughter to like, hey, you're not actually responsible for this. You don't have to do this. Somebody else will do it for you. But that's not what I want to teach them. I want them to each know how to make their own bed, how to have responsibility for their life individually. And man, it became this really good learning experience, Ben. We're still even working with it. So Elizabeth's she makes her bed, and then Abigail looks at Elizabeth. She's like, "Can you help me make my bed?" And so Elizabeth's like, "Okay." So she starts making her bed, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! That's not what she asked. She asked you, can you help me?" So then I had to explain to Elizabeth, just because somebody asks you to do something for them, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it for them. She asked for help. She didn't ask you to do it for her. She asked you to help her. She needs to explain to you what she needs help with. And then, so now this turned into an experience to where now I'm having to teach my daughter how to explain herself. Okay, what is that you need help with? And this simple little task of like learning how to make your bed is like, I was like, wow. I thought I was just asking them to make their bed, but no, I'm being presented with a great learning experience of not just getting a task done to keep a room clean, but there is a literal life lesson being taught right here for myself and for them. For me, it's been an experience to where like I'm not done being a dad. You know, I got more to go. My daughter is not done. She's got more to go. And it's just been kind of like, it's been kind of crazy. I'm thinking like, man, all I asked was, can you make your bed? And now I'm looking back and I'm like, the world is just blowing up in front of my face. I'm like, wow, this is bigger than just making your bed.
You're realizing how the little, because what I'm hearing is you're realizing how the little, what we would see as mundane tasks as adults, make your bed or pick up your toys or whatever, turns into, oh, this is a teaching opportunity.
Yeah.
This is a bonding opportunity. This is a trust building opportunity. This is a I'm learning as much as they are opportunity. And it sounds like you're kind of breaking down the walls of I don't know, the walls that are kind of put up where it's like, oh, well, this is just a cleaning thing. It's like, no, this isn't a cleaning thing. Being at home is such an important thing for a father. Being involved in their lives for the mundane. Because the mundane to us of making your bed, picking up your toys, washing the dishes, it's their first time doing it. It's their brand new, big, brave, scary world that they've never done before. And who better than to have them hold their hand and walk them through it than their daddy?
Yeah.
And it becomes we're learning together, we're growing together, but we've taken advantage of it. And we're like, well, I've been making my bed for forever. I've been washing dishes for forever, but they haven't. So they don't know why there's two sides to the sponge. They don't know how much dish soap to use. They don't know how much water to use when rinsing dishes, and so now you're starting to break down the function that you've just done, but they've never done it before, and they need to know, well, why are we using soap? Wait, why are there two sides to that sponge? Why is it important for the bed to be made at all? Oh, we got to wash the bed sheets every once in a while.
Yeah.
But they're learning. You are building. It is the building blocks of their future.
But it also too, it made me realize, Ben, like how a lot of the times within the household, we assume how much we assume. Like I just assumed that she knew how to do it. I assumed that my wife had already taught her. I assume that me telling her what to do, just yelling, was going to get the task accomplished. There were so many assumptions, and it really helped me it was this moment of stepping back and realizing like wait, I'm not here to yell at these kids until the result that I want is accomplished. I'm here to teach these kids and guide them. And it's just been such a neat feeling, Ben. Like a simple little task, make your bed, turn into this big monumental task of like, oh wow, this is such a big learning experience. And seeing my kids just be like, oh, the joy of accomplishment. Oh man, it was so cool. The other day, because we've been working on it for about a week, and the other day I walk into the bedroom, and Abigail's bed was not made yet. Elizabeth's bed was made, and Abigail's in there, and I was like, baby, you need to make your bed. And she's like, okay, do you need help with it? And she's like, yes. And then she quickly jumps and she's like, you grab that sheet, I'll pull it over here, pull it to that corner, and she's giving me instructions on how to make her bed.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yes, it's working. It's working. I made the bed following her instructions. Granted, the bed was made. It wasn't pretty, but it was made. But the accomplishment of like, she's learning. She's taking responsibility. She's taking ownership for this, and she's realizing like, oh, I don't need to just ask for things. I have to have a solution whenever I ask for help. That was huge. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so big. The fact that you're learning how to do this right now with a simple task of learn how to make your bed, like, because I find myself doing that so many times too in life, where you want somebody to help you, but in reality, you don't necessarily, what you're asking for is not that you want help, is you want somebody to do the task for you, because it's so overwhelming and so hard and so complicated. You're like, I need help, but you don't realize that you're saying like, no, I just want somebody to do this for me. You know, because then when help is actually presented to you, it may be in the form of like, well, what do you want me to do? Well, I don't know. Can you just help me? Well, help you how? Give me. And I was just like, mind blown.
Yeah, because that's a great skill. You really are. Because I've never thought about it that way, but teaching your kids, even in a state of I'm overwhelmed and I can't do this, I don't even know how to begin to ask for help, how to say, okay, here's the parts I'm struggling with. Here's as much as I know, and this is as far as I can get. And I can ask you to help me at least get to the next step as I see it. Because that's a big thing, is knowing how to ask for help. Not, well, how can you help me? Well, or when someone says, how can I help you? You say, oh, I don't know. I need to complete the task. That's what the teacher said, for example, on the assignment. And it's like, okay, well, what part do you need help with? Well, I don't know. And you're just stumped. You're overwhelmed. It's too big. And it's like, well, how far have you gotten? Well, she gave us the questions on the homework. It's like, okay, well, how far have you gotten? The teacher's given me everything, and I'm stumped. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And knowing how to ask for help. Well, okay, well, I need help with this part of the question because they don't, they're like, well, can you even read the question?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
do you understand the answer she's looking for? The teacher, or is there a part of the question where the wording is confusing or something, but that's a good,
because you have to, because you have to be like in that situation, you had to be able to analyze the task at hand. Like I asked her, I want the pink showing because they have a pink bedspread, so I want the pink on top and I want each corner touching the corners and tucked in. And so then she was able to like kind of look back and like, what do we do first? What did I tell you to do? What is it that I want? And she's like, so she thought about it. It's like, well, you want the pink on top. And it was so cool. Like, the second time when we were working on the bed together, and she's telling me like the pink goes on top, corner goes here, corner goes there. And it was like, she grasped the instructions. Like, okay, this is what Daddy wants. This is how it should be. And it was just such a fun, event. And it kind of goes back to where we were talking about like, the previous podcast about your feelings, and I was like, wow, I acknowledged her feelings. I acknowledged the fact that she was like, she didn't know what to do. She was afraid. She was scared. She was, but instead of like allowing her to feel that, I gave her a sense of power, because like, oh, hey, no, that fear, that doubt, that insecurity, we're going to take control of that. And I'm going to help you understand the task so that you can be in charge of that. So you can be in charge of those feelings. So instead of the bed becoming an overwhelming feeling, because it could have easily turned into something to where like, oh my gosh, I got to make the bed. My daddy's going to be mad if I don't make the bed. Oh no, I don't know how to do the bed. Oh no, my dad's going to spank me. He's going to get mad at me. No, it turned into an opportunity for me to be able to show her like, no, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you become better. I'm not here to punish you. I'm here to help you. And it really helped me see my role as a father. As a father at the house, I'm not home to punish my kids. I'm at home to help develop my kids. Punishment, there is going to be some punishment at times for bad discipline, but I cannot punish my kids if I have not fully given them the full layout of the expectations that I have for them. If they have a good and clear understanding, these are the expectations that I have for you. These are the instructions that I have for you. If you disobey these instructions after you fully understand them and grasp them, then yes, there will be punishment. But if I'm punishing my kids before they have a clear understanding of what I expect from them, then I'm in the wrong, not them. And I was just like, whoa. This is bigger than just making the bed.
Yes.
It's like I was like, oh, I haven't thought about this until just now. I've given instructions, but I haven't actually thought about like the weight and the weight of my instructions and like the responsibility that I bear by giving these instructions. So it's pretty cool moment.
We've said it before. Your children are a mirror of who you and your spouse are. Like their home life is, their behavior is reflected in their home life. How they're perceiving you as parents and how you're behaving, and a lot of children's behavior, especially at small ages, could be a good or a bad reflection of our parenting styles. If you know,
Yeah.
it's a sad, hard truth to swallow sometimes, or maybe it's a blessing when you hear that statement. But either way, no one else is raising your kids, or I hope they're not. But they're looking to mommy and daddy, and how mommy and daddy are choosing to raise their kids is a reflection of their current behavior. So if you don't like your kids, or we have a podcast episode about that, do you like your kids or not? Because if you don't like your kids, maybe it's because you don't like yourself or your spouse that much. And so that's, your behavior has a lot to do with their behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess with that being said, do you got anything else to add to the podcast?
Mm-mm.
That was a little bit deeper than I thought it was going to go. Here I thought I was like, oh.
You thought you were just going to be like Martha Stewart talking about making beds.
Yeah. No, but then it was deeper. So hopefully you guys enjoy this podcast. We want to thank everyone for listening to A Mexican and Redneck Follow the World. We love you and we're proud of you.